Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 18 of 31 Days of Halloween. Welcome. Today we are doing these glasses, and we paint all the way to the rim. These are glasses. I mean, if you want to use them for wine glasses, you can, but these are more for pedestals for candles or little tchotchkes. This one does not have a jack-o'-lantern. This one does because it's 31 Days of Halloween, so I feel like I have to do a jack-o'-lantern. But that's it. Wine glasses. These happen to be a little bit smoked. You can get the clear ones, totally up to you. And then I bought a bunch of fall garland, cut it apart into like two bunches of 2 and 3 leaves, grabbed pipe cleaners, and I'll show you how I twisted these around and attached them. Okay? And there you have it. And then you can use these for a stand for a candle or a little decoration, what have you. And we will get started. Okay, I have out my wine glass. Oops. And I have out some rubbing alcohol. I'm not using my stand that I usually use for glasses because it wouldn't work because you have to paint the whole thing. I'm cleaning my whole glass because I'm going to be using the whole glass with a paper towel and some regular old rubbing alcohol from Walgreens, CVS, Walmart, whatever it is. Isopropyl rubbing alcohol. You want to get the dust, the grime, the fingerprint oils, whatever it is, off your glass. Okay. I have out enamel paint. These are water-based enamels, orange and yellow, this green, but then I have to use multi-surface in my dark green because that's all I had. When I paint on glass, I like to use the glass enamel paints, but you don't have to. You can use the multi-surface paints. Plaid, folk art, and decor art multi-surface paints are made for ceramics, wood, plastic, glass, you name it, cloth. That's why they're called multi-surface. But when I can use the enamel paints, I will. So this is a little bit. So I got some yellow. When I paint a pumpkin, I usually do not paint it one solid orange. I will add a couple of oranges and even some yellow to it. You want it to have variety. See how this is multiple colors? If it was just the one orange, it wouldn't have as much character. These enamel paints tend to be a little thicker, and folk art paint in general tends to be a little thicker. So, all right. I have out these brushes. I try to avoid using water when I'm painting with enamel paint. So you will not see me. I will use 5 brushes and avoid going into the water if I don't have to. Sometimes I do have to. Sometimes, I don't have a gazillion brushes. But if I do need to use water and I do need to clean this brush with water when I'm painting on glass or hard plastic, I will make sure that I really dry the heck out of it after I'm done painting before I switch to the color. If I have to wash it before I switch colors, I'm really, really drying it. Okay, let's move my paint over here. No water. I'm going to do one corner in the yellow, one corner in the orange, and I'm going to start loading my brush. Okay, I'm making this little runway. I want to get the paint up into the bristles. I want my brush to be really well loaded because when I go to do my strokes, I want my brush and my paint to move like melted butter. I just want to be able to start here and do one stroke from the stem to the lip. Okay? If you need to do a second coat, you have to totally wait for your glass to dry to do the second coat. Otherwise, you will just start lifting the paint. So I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to pull. Okay, I'm going to pick up more purple. I'm going to pick up more yellow. I'm going to make sure that my yellow now, my brush has not turned. And I'm going to pull down, go up a little bit on that one, and up. Okay, and we're just going to do this around the whole glass. Depending on the width of your brush, that will determine the width of your strokes. And if you have to go back over them or do a second coat. Painting on glass is not going to be as opaque as it is painting on canvas or wood. Obviously, it's glass. But if you want a darker look, and that's totally your choice, you can wait for this to completely dry, help it dry with the heat gun, as long as you don't hold it too close, and then go back and do a second coat. Okay, so there is my painted glass already. All right. Now I'm just going to wipe it off. I'm going into darker colors, so I really don't have to worry about the blending. And I'm going to do the same thing now with my green. Some green, the two greens, and I'm just going to load my brush. Dark green, light green, and load my brush right here in the middle. Okay? And now I'm going to do the bottom of my glass. Got some green, and I'm just pulling out these strokes. So this is going to be like the stem of our pumpkin. Obviously, we cleaned our glass. We do have to touch it at some point to paint it. Okay? We try not to, but we do. And I'm going to paint this whole stem here. And I'm just coming to the glass, to the stem, and covering the whole entire thing. Okay? I'm going to take my light green and my dark green. I'm going to fix my brush because it's getting a little wonky here. And I'm going to come up and just put little leaves. So I'm starting my brush on the flat, and then I'm just turning it a little bit to make a point. I'm turning my glass as I go. Okay, so I'll show you again. I loaded my brush. I start with my brush flat, and then I just give it a twist, flat, and twist. If you look here at my thumb and my pointer, not at my brush end. Let's get more paint. And I'm giving it a twist. Okay. And then I'm just going to empty out my brush by coming up the neck again. Okay, so there we have it. And this is one that's already done. So I'm going to put this one aside. This is one that's already done. I'm going to get out a little bit of black. And you can use any kind of paint for this because this black is going on the paint already. So you don't have to worry about using glass paint. I'm going to use my liner brush that I already have because it's just the regular paint. Dry it off. And I'm going to paint in my face. So I'm just going to make a triangle. You don't have to do this. Maybe you don't want a jack-o'-lantern, but I have to keep in the theme of Halloween, 31 days of Halloween. I'm just going to fill this in. And I'm going to give a little triangle nose and fill that in as well. And then our jack-o'-lantern mouth. And fill that in. Then while I wait for this to dry, I'm going to show you how I did the leaves with the pipe cleaner. And then we'll come back and we'll add some highlights to our jack-o'-lantern face. Okay? Put that in the water. All right. So I went to the Michaels. You can go to Michael's, Hobby Lobby, whatever. I bought an entire garland of fall leaves. I got these acorns. I think I got these at Michael's as well. I glued them together. You can just use the fall leaves. You could do any kind of berries, whatever you want. And then I took the pipe cleaner and I attached it to my leaves. Got my glass and just first gave a couple of twists. All right. But then if you take a pencil and you roll the pipe cleaner up in the pencil, and then you pull the pencil out and give it a little pull, you have that nice twist. So I'm going to take this one. I'm going to roll it up, the pencil, not over each other. It's going next to each other as I roll it. So now I have it all rolled up on my pencil. And I'm going to slide the pencil out, and I'm just going to give a little tug on my spiral. And there we have those cute little spiral ends there for our leaves. I'm going to go back here. Again, if you want the supply list and the colors I used, it is right in there. I need some white. With a little dab will do ya. My liner brush. And I'm just going to add a highlight to each side of my nose and my eyes. I'm going to use the back of my brush. I'm going to let it add a little little pupil to my eye. And then I'm just going to come in here and add a little white to the mouth as well. Not too much. And there we go. So let me turn you guys around. Okay, so this is the one we put the face on that I'd already painted. My glasses. This was the one, I have to be careful with it because it's still wet, that we base coated today by double loading our brush with the yellow and the orange. And then here it is completely. Oh, actually, I didn't do highlights on this one. My goodness gracious. Let's fix that right now. I do. And my pupils. And here's the one that's completely finished with the leaves and our little swirlies, and that you can use for a candle or tchotchkes or what have you. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow.